Ava let out a soft sigh, indulging in a luxurious stretch before gracefully standing up. A change swept through the atmosphere. I gazed up at her, feeling disoriented and out of breath. She observed me with a subtle smile, then moved to unfasten the first button of her blouse. "Well," she whispered, letting the fabric cascade down her shoulders, a deliberate, teasing smile playing on her lips. "I guess it's not wise to simply remain a passive observer. Before we proceed, kindly take a moment to hit like and subscribe. It's swift, complimentary, and offers more assistance than you might realize. Thanks a lot. Let's dive in. If I don't experience the touch of a genuine man soon, I might truly go insane." The words spilled forth before I could rein them in, too unrefined, too yearning, but after 3 years of disappointment, 2 glasses of wine, and precisely 0 exhilarating evenings, I had no desire to feign anything any longer. Ava sputtered on her drink, then burst into laughter. "Wow, is it really that terrible?" I let out a low groan, adjusting my position in the chair. To make matters worse, my former partner was, well, let's just say, rather dull. What comes next? I imagined that being single would bring excitement and joy. It appears that what we have here is merely a series of unfortunate encounters and even less appealing choices. Eva wore a sly smile. "What's the matter? What holds you back from simply choosing someone?" I released a harsh chuckle. "Absolutely. I'll just pick the closest guy and cross my fingers that he's a good choice." The reality was, I wasn't looking for just anyone. I longed to experience that sense of being desired once more. Eva regarded me for a moment, then let out a breath through her nose as if she had just reached a decision. "I believe I've found a solution." I squinted my eyes. "If you're thinking of recommending some app packed with weirdos, I swear." "No," she interjected seamlessly. With a deliberate sip of wine and a teasing smirk that sent a thrill through me, she finally spoke the words. "You might consider taking my husband for a while." Stillness. I blinked, certain I had misunderstood. "Excuse me, could you please clarify that?" She merely shrugged, showing no signs of concern. "You understood me." I fixed my gaze on Eva, hoping for a laugh, a smirk, anything that would indicate this was just a joke. Yet, she merely took a sip of her wine, as though her previous statement was perfectly rational. "You understood me," she repeated, her tone steady and relaxed. A nervous chuckle escaped my lips. "Surely you jest. What's stopping us?" Because that's your partner, Eva." She gave a slight shrug. "What about it?" I blinked. "So? Must I truly elaborate on why that's utterly ridiculous?" Eva leaned in, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "It seems like you're putting in quite a bit of effort to convey surprise. The notion didn't truly bother you. You were simply taken aback." Clearly, I'm taken aback. My tone was more elevated than I had planned. Who would even utter such a thing? A true companion. She wore a sly smile. A person who genuinely empathizes with your pain. I let out a frustrated sigh, my hand resting against my forehead. "It seems you portray me as a rather unfortunate situation. You stated it yourself. You seem quite unhappy." Eva tilted her head, observing me as if she possessed the final chapter of this dialogue in her mind. "You truly merit something greater." I gulped. "Even if I were foolish enough to entertain this idea, which I am not, what about him? Is he aware that you're expressing this?" Eva's grin grew broader. "Oh, darling, do you honestly believe I would propose something like this without doing my homework first?" A peculiar warmth coiled within my abdomen. "Hold on, are you saying?" She took another deliberate sip of wine, as if relishing the moment and my response. "I mentioned it to him earlier. He didn't really voice any grievances." An electric pulse surged within me. I wasn't sure what I anticipated, but the notion that her husband was already in agreement. Oh my goodness, I took a breath. Eva smiled brightly. "I mentioned it before, he's truly an extraordinary individual. Believe me, he truly understands how to treat a woman right. I would never present you with anything but the finest." My mouth felt parched. She placed her glass aside and leaned closer, her voice becoming softer and more fluid. "Reveal the truth to me. If you set aside your overthinking and allowed yourself to embrace your true feelings, would you be inclined to say yes? I ought to have found it amusing. Perhaps a shift in topic would have been wise. I ought to have declined. However, I chose not to. Because, at my core, I had always understood the truth. Eva must have noticed it in my expression because she let out a breath, content. I had a feeling that was the case. I compelled myself to inhale. This is absolutely outrageous. Perhaps, but doesn't it seem thrilling? I chose not to reply. Wasn't able to. Eva observed me intently, her finger poised above her phone. This is your final opportunity. If you ask me to halt, I will comply. Quietude. I opened my mouth, poised to utter a word, any word. Yet, nothing emerged. With a sly grin, Eva tapped the screen. One solitary message. Let us proceed. Delivered. A soft chime. She locked eyes with me and offered a smile. He is en route. He arrived in no time at all. A gentle rap on the door. Eva let out a gentle breath. My heart raced. She rose, adjusting the fabric of her dress with care. Feeling anxious? I took a deep breath, gave a slight nod. She smiled as if it were anticipated. She then opened the door. And there he stood, lofty, self-assured, steadfast in the face of impending events. Eva wore a sly grin. You've arrived ahead of schedule. Her spouse entered the room, gaze fixed upon me, in a deliberate manner, not in a straightforward manner, yet in a manner that conveyed to me. He was aware. You're even more beautiful than she described. My stomach churned. Eva chuckled, wrapping an arm around his. I mentioned it before. A measured, thoughtful examination. Nothing explicit. No clear indications. Yet, I sensed it. Is this really her? It's her, Eva confirmed. His lips formed a subtle arc. Not a hint of a smile. No smile at all. Simply, validation. Eva faced me, reaching out with her hand. Shall we proceed? My breath was taken away. This was the moment. The final opportunity to turn back. The final instant to feign uncertainty, despite having already reached my conclusion. I did not take it. I was not required to. Before I had the chance to make a choice, he took hold of my other hand. And just like that, we journeyed side by side. As soon as the door clicked closed, his hands found their way to me. There was an unwavering certainty. No gradual progression. Absolutely clear. Pure intensity. His lips met mine in an electrifying moment. Profound and relentless. A wave of feeling courses through me. It was charged with energy. Absolutely breathtaking. Captivating. I surrendered to him, my form aligning with his, as his hands explored my back, strong, possessive, intentional. Eva's gentle laughter resonated in the air behind me. Now that's better, she whispered, her voice laced with delight. Then her hands swept gracefully across my shoulders. A subtle juxtaposition to his strong hold. A chill coursed through my body. I hardly had a moment to respond as she grasped the straps of my dress, gradually easing them down, inch by inch. The gentle caress of his breath upon my skin. The languid, tantalizing caress of Eva's fingers. I found myself utterly enveloped, entirely adrift within it. I wished for it to continue endlessly. The fabric hugged my waist, and Eva let out a gentle breath, her voice weaving a smooth whisper against my ear. You're absolutely breathtaking like this, she murmured. His lips traced my collarbone, intentional, unhurried. Are you still feeling anxious? Eva whispered softly. I chose not to respond. I was unable to. Not when his hands found their place on my waist, assured, leading me back. I collapsed onto the mattress, my breath ragged and my heart racing. He trailed behind, exuding a steady confidence, his essence permeating my entire consciousness. With a heavy sigh, Eva took a step back. I hardly took note of it. It was only when I caught the gentle whisper of fabric that I realized she had taken a seat on the couch beside me. Continue, darling, she cooed, her voice silky and playful. Allow her to experience what I am already aware of. A profound resonance echoed within him. Then, his touch descended, leaving a trail of warmth behind. My breath was taken away. An overwhelming surge of feeling coursed through me, my body reacting without thought. His hands gripped me with a steady, firm precision, leading me further into the experience. Eva expressed her satisfaction with a soft hum. "Oh, darling," she whispered, her fingers gliding over my arm, delicate yet charged with energy. "Take a moment to observe your current self." Warmth surged within me. I ought to have been reflecting. I was not. I found myself utterly immersed in it. His caress, his essence. The way Eva's voice ignited a new excitement within me. Eva leaned in just a bit, her fingertips gliding over my skin in gentle, languid circles. "Look," she murmured. I mentioned he was talented. I hardly caught what she said. The only thing that captured my attention was the gradual, swirling ecstasy that enveloped me. Eva let out a soft sigh, indulging in a long stretch before gracefully standing up. A change swept through the atmosphere. I gazed up at her, my eyes wide with curiosity. Stunned, gasping for air. She observed me with a subtle smile, then moved to unfasten the first button of her blouse. As she whispered softly, letting the fabric glide from her shoulders, a slow, knowing smile played upon her lips. "I guess it's time for me to get in on the excitement." Eva's blouse slipped from her shoulders, the fabric cascading down in a measured, graceful manner. She approached me, her movements deliberate and calm. Her presence is unmistakable. My breath quickened, uneven, my pulse pounding beneath my skin. Her fingers glided over my arms, a delicate touch that traveled from my shoulders to my wrists, igniting a fresh wave of excitement within me. "She is prepared," Eva whispered, her tone a deliberate, intimate assurance. Her husband breathed out slowly, his hands resting against my waist, firm and confident. The moment lingered, heavy with unvoiced comprehension. I hardly noticed how my fingers wrapped around him, yearning for something to grasp. Suddenly, the entire landscape transformed. A surge of feeling washed over me, taking the breath from my chest. Eva's breath caressed my ear, her voice gentle yet unwavering. "That's it," she murmured. "Allow it to unfold." His hands directed me, drawing me further into the experience, deliberate and unwavering. I felt utterly engulfed, enveloped. Eva's fingertips glided along my arm, his presence enveloping me, grounding me in a sensation I could no longer fight against. The intensity surged rapidly, each movement igniting a wave of warmth within me. Eva's lips grazed my jaw, her touch confident and intentional. "Inhale deeply, my dear," she whispered softly. "Experience each moment fully." I trembled under their weight, my form constricting, winding, the tension escalating, more intense, more acute. Each motion flowed seamlessly, precisely, drawing me nearer to the brink of an unavoidable fate. Eva's lips glided along my collarbone, her caress amplifying every feeling. "You're absolutely breathtaking like this," she whispered. Her voice was almost a whisper to me. I found myself completely immersed in it. The embrace, the attraction, the constant beat propelling me onward. I pursued it with an instinctual drive, immersed in the experience, utterly consumed by the sensation. Eva's lips lingered near my ear, her voice playful and filled with anticipation. "Release it." I inhaled sharply, quivered, and then her fingers intertwined with mine, anchoring me as I broke apart. The experience washed over me in layers, profound, infinite, all-consuming. A gentle sound slipped from my lips, the liberation unspooling every final thread of restraint. His grip intensified, extracting the final remnants, profound and all-encompassing. Eva's hands held mine firmly, anchoring me as I descended from the summit. "That's it," she whispered, placing a soft kiss on my temple. All fell away into a cocoon of warmth, enveloped in a breathless quietude. The echoes of the tremors remained, gently resonating within me. I immersed myself in the sensation, buoyant, entirely undone. Eva let out a soft, contented sigh, her fingers lingering intertwined with mine. The stillness lingered, dense, comforting, saturated with the echoes of all that had just transpired. Her nails glided over my skin, a lingering, playful whisper, accompanied by a gentle laugh. We assured you that we would look after you. I was paralyzed, unable to conjure a single idea. I simply inhaled, utterly unraveled, entirely captivated. The majority would likely decline an offer of this nature. However, let's face it, it's not quite that straightforward. Are you willing to embrace the uncertainty, or is this poised to unravel into chaos? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. I'm eager to hear all perspectives. If this story resonates with you, stay a while longer. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and enable notifications. Stay tuned for more captivating tales coming your way, and make sure you don't miss a single one.